right, we are ready to rock. Hello, if you are watching with us live, do me a favor and drop a comment and let us know. I am excited to have this conversation with another one of my clients, Carlita Thomas, and we're going to talk a little bit about her coaching experience and what it meant to her and some of the things that she was able to glean from the time that we spent together and kind of like peel back some layers to provide a up close and personal perspective on not only what coaching is, but the impact that it can have on your life, on your journey, on your career, and all of the things that make us as whole people. If you're new to me for some reason, I'm glad that you're here. It's not by happenstance. I am Danielle, the coach. I'm a certified life and leadership coach, and I help mid-career professionals create their corporate exit strategy so that they can quit without regret. I will let my dear client introduce herself. Carlita, tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, my name is Carlita Thomas, as Danielle stated, and I am a mother of two. I am a life insurance agent for Farmers Insurance, where I help people protect what's important to them, which is their family, also to build generational wealth. Um, that's who I am in a nutshell for the most part.
Got it. What's one word that you would use to describe how you were feeling before we started working together?
Frustrated in one word.
Okay. Okay. And
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what was going on that was driving the frustration.
Well, when I was working in a career, working a 9 to 5, where I didn't feel like it was feeding into my purpose. So actually knowing my purpose, but not knowing how to get from point A to point B was building the frustration because I was doing something constantly that wasn't feeding me.
Mm, mm. And what was it that brought you to the point of even like raising your hand or reaching out for help?
Yep. So it has been something that I've thought about for a while, had mentors, but it came down to a point of I just needed a change. I
Mhm.
really needed that change. I needed to feel alive again and feel like I was actually contributing to the universe and what it is that I was meant to do.
Yeah. How long would you say that you were feeling that way?
Ah, it's been years, actually.
Mhm.
It has
Mhm.
been years. I would say at least more than 2 years that I felt a push to do something different.
Yeah. And what had you done before reaching out and like trying to figure it out on your own?
Yep. So I've taken classes. I've read self-help books.
Mhm.
I've reached out to different people who have actually took the leap themselves, but it wasn't clear to me on how I
Mhm.
could actually do it. So
Got it. Got it. Okay, so you have been thinking about it for about 2 years, and by God's grace, our paths crossed, right?
right.
And so the stories of how people find me, right? And when they have that moment, and sometimes I think this might have been your story too, so I don't want to speak for you. But when people find me, however they find me, whether it's a referral, they see me online, wherever, there is like something that tugs at them, and it's just like it continues to pull, and they just follow the breadcrumbs to know more, and before they know it, like they end up on a call with me, right? And we are literally having a strategy session, seeing what next might look like, and helping you with real time strategy in that moment, right? So, do you recall when you first came across me or my content?
I do. Y'all, I was laying in bed. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, up thinking about having anxiety about logging onto my computer for my corporate job. And I seen Danielle, and it was just something about you that I gravitated towards. It was your genuineness. It was the fact that I see me in you, and I was like, I gotta know who she is and how she could possibly help. So it was it was in that moment of frustration at 2 a.m. in the morning. scrolling on Facebook that I came across your ad, and
I
I'm
love
so
it.
grateful I did it.
Yes, I am too. I am too. Um, so you came across my ad, you click the link, you watch the video, the free video that I have. Where if you're watching this video, watching us right now, you can also watch it. All you got to do is go to quitwithoutregret.com. And it's a video where I share how mid-career professionals are taking the leap into full-time entrepreneurship, like without regret. I don't recommend just taking the leap head first without a parachute, without a plan. So I tell you exactly in that video at quitwithoutregret.com how to do it. It's my proven framework and it's what I usher my clients through as well. So you click the link, you watch the video, you took the next step, you book the call, right? So we booked the strategy session. Um, and in the strategy session, I felt like we were a good fit. Like that same feeling, warm and fuzzy you had about me, I had about you as well. Like you, my people, right? You get me, and I get you. I understand where you are. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt, and I felt like I had what it took to support you in reaching the goals that you told me about, right, in your strategy session. So I did invite you to work with me. So, what fueled your decision to ultimately make the investment to enlist me as your coach?
Actually, it was the trust, right?
Mm,
So I feel like even in that short period of time, I gained the trust to know that okay, she's not going to let me fail, right?
mm,
So that in its essence was what propelled me as well because I could have it could have been anybody.
yeah,
But the fact that I trusted your plan, I trusted your genuineness, and I knew that um, I wasn't led astray when I found you at two. Like you said, I always say it's not by coincidence or happenstance that we meet. It's for a divine purpose. So, and I
right.
trusted that. And so that's what essentially it was a gut feeling. It was very much so guided and led by a higher power, I would say.
Got it. Got it. Did you have any reservations about the investment in itself?
No, I felt like no, not at all. I
No.
did. I
Okay.
did.
Okay. So the time that I work with my clients, right? It's typically no less than 90 days. And so there's 90 days, it subjectively, right? It can seem like a long time, it can seem like a short amount of time, right? But when you're in it, I find that it feels like time moves a little fast. But what I also know, having a front row seat to my clients' journeys, is that there's so much that we create the space to happen and that actually happens on the transformation journey. And so what I love about coaching is that if you show up as the client for yourself and you do what you commit to doing, right, while being in a safe space that I've created as your coach, and you show up for yourself, you already know I'm going to show up for you. Or and if you don't know that, right, because trust is a thing and it's built over time. But as you begin to work with me and come to our sessions and you see that I'm showing up for you, right? You show up for you. There is something amazing that happens. There are shifts, big and small. And I call it out that way because some people say, oh, there's no small wins. No, there are, right? We qualify things for a reason in life. So, and the what's big and small is subjective to the individual as well. However, why I like to say there's big and small shifts is because a lot of times my clients go on this time collapse journey and things begin to kind of like unravel and bind in a new way, but there's stuff happening under the surface that because they're so close to it, they can't see it.
Mhm.
But guess who can? Me. And so one of the things that I love is being able to gently offer observations about the growth that I see, right? About the shifts that hey, I'm noticing this. Did you notice this? And it's what's beautiful is when there's these aha moments of no, I really I guess you might be right, right? And there's something that happens in those moments that kind of charges the battery in your back and also empowers you to keep going because things are happening, whether it's the small, seemingly microscopic things happening below the surface that where you are changing your being and how you show up, or if it's big things that are happening, like tangible things that you can say, yes, either I didn't have this when we started and I have it now, or I hadn't accomplished this when we started, but I have now. There's a range of things that can happen. So that being said, what's shifted for you as a result of working with me?
My mindset.
Mhm.
Where it was dark, I started
Mhm.
to see the light, right? And I also, another thing that shifted as far as mindset is how I viewed myself and taking some of that weight off my shoulders to say it's okay to
Yeah,
not have it all figured out, but continue to move.
yeah.
So that was one of my biggest shifts, and that's something that I am very much so grateful for the fact that I was able to change the way that I was thinking. Um,
Hmm.
about myself and the possibilities and the opportunities that were ahead of me.
Yeah. And so let me paint this picture too for those that are watching. Like my clients are high achievers. My clients are go getters. My clients are problem solvers. My clients are the go to people in any space that they take up. My clients are the most, not even some of the most amazing people walking this planet, right? So I want to make sure that we set this foundation to understand like who Carlita is. She's not somebody that just that she's not lazy. She's not um someone who is highly dependent on other people to do things, right? To make decisions for her. Carlita is one of the most driven people with a heart of gold and has that like independent, I gotta do what I gotta do and I'm gonna figure it out type of spirit, right? And so why I say this though is because you just heard her say how her mindset shift was one of the major things that changed for her in our times together. And so for somebody who is so driven, who is already a problem solver in her own right, right? Just she's the person that people come to for help in her sphere. So for somebody like her to engage in coaching and walk away from the experience saying like my mindset shift was like the biggest thing that happened for me, I think that's major because I think people discount the strong friend, the strong daughter, the strong mama. Oh, she don't need help. She good. She always solves that. She's got it right. But my goodness, when do you get an opportunity to have a you for you, like a safe space to share and be vulnerable and be transparent, right? And give what you typically get in this space. It's all about you. And there's something to be said that in finding a space, and I'm going to toot my own horn, stepping into the space that I create for you to be able to let your hair down,
Yeah,
like, and just be vulnerable, be, audacious and big and bold, and daring with what it is that you want and be unapologetic about it and not feel judged,
right.
right? And there's no bias. It's just like you want to go to the moon. Okay, but how are we going to do it? Like, and when you trying to go? Like, what's the deadline? Let's reverse engineer that thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I know for a fact that there aren't many spaces for people like me and my clients like Carlita to be able to do that and walk back out into the world feeling empowered, and not like they're crazy and not like, what is wrong with you? Feeling judged, right? And doubting the dream, even if it's so different, it's so outlandish. If nobody in their sphere has ever done it before, it's just like, no, like this is the space where you come and, birth those things, where you plant the seeds and we water them. And you may not see the fruit of the seed, right, in our time together, depending on how long we work together, right? But the seed, if the seed is planted, the seed is planted, and if you're watering it at some point, the thing has to bloom. And
Right.
so that's one of the beautiful things about this whole coaching experience as well. It's just like the seeds that are planted. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. So I'm absolutely looking forward to months and years down the line. You reaching back, hey girl, guess what? Remember that thing we talked about?
Yes.
Yeah, it happened, right? And it will
Yes.
be no surprise, but it will be absolute celebration. So thank you for sharing that. Like, I just didn't want to let the moment pass and it to kind of be um discounted in any way because knowing who you are and how you show up in the world and like you're a bad mama jamma. And so to know that you were able to step into the space and have a mindset shift, I don't take that lightly. So thank you for sharing that.
Most welcome.
On a lighter note, what's been your favorite coaching moment or memory from our time working together?
One of my favorite moments is when, like you said, when I was able to really take the mask off. During
Mhm.
one of our sessions, we talked about taking the mask off and me wearing the mask. And the fact that you're like, it's okay. It's
Mhm.
okay to go and have your you time and take that mask off. For me, that was one of my most because I felt a sisterhood to a sense, right? So that was one of my most warm, heartfelt, or warming moments during our session. And also, I love the fact that you would say, "Could I give you some advice, or are you open to an to advice?" Like I like challenges too, but I also liked how genuine you were to come and give me um, some perspective, right?
Mhm.
Or some tips on how to get out of what it was that I was going through. So I absolutely love those moments as well. So.
Love it. Let me tell you something. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for permission, and that's the type of coach that I am, right? Yes, as a trained and certified coach, but what people, I think a lot of people don't know, just because coaching is not as much of a household term or thing like therapy is, there is not a lot of broad understanding about what coaching really is because I think it may be the term may be overused, but I don't think that there are a lot of there's like mass experience as of the time of this recording of this live stream, right? Mass experience is what it feels like, what it means to work with a like legitimate coach. Coaching is a partnership
That's right.
between the coach and the client, right? This is not, and although there are different types of coaches, like you might think of like sports coaches, when they tell you what play to run, they tell you what to do. There's no talking back. Do what I say, or you're gonna ride the bench, right? This is a different flavor
Right.
where we are partners on your journey, and it supports you in knowing that you don't have to do this thing by yourself. You're not by yourself.
Right.
You have built in support and accountability. However, this is your journey. And contrary to popular belief, yes, I am the coach, but you are the pilot. We're going where you want to go.
Right.
I'm just reinforcing saying, hey, you see that tree over there? Let's not hit it unless you got a plan. You got an exit strategy. Just let me know. I
Right.
can be ready too. You know what I'm saying? So that is the beauty of coaching. And real, true, sincere coaching will always offer you as the client an opportunity to receive or not, right? Because when I do ask, are you open to a suggestion? Can I offer a recommendation? You have every opportunity and every right and every prerogative to say no if you don't want to hear it.
Right.
And I will respect that and keep on. I'm not, listen, I don't take it personal, especially when I broach it as a yes or no question, right? And so I want to share, I'm glad you said that because I don't think that there is a widespread awareness of the fact that that is true coaching and how you should feel in working with a coach, but you wouldn't unless you work with somebody like me.
That's right.
So thank you for sharing that. What would you say has been an unexpected outcome of our work together that you're grateful for?
Um, an unexpected outcome, really letting my guard down. That was
Mm.
very unexpected of me. I've always been the type, like you said, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna know it from point A to point B. Um, but actually giving those reins over and kind
Mm.
of letting those guards down and say, okay, that was unexpected. I did not expect for me to come in and for you to break that wall down for me to be vulnerable, right?
Mhm.
So that was a really vulnerable state, but it's something that I'm grateful for, and I can't
Mhm.
say that enough. How grateful I am because I do feel lighter, to say
Oh,
the least.
good, good. I love to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just thought about this because I know this is something that you experienced during our time together, and a lot of my clients do come to me with the 9 to 5 still, right? They're looking to make the leap. They're kind of teetering. A lot of my clients are already like working in like the side hustle, wanting to make it the main hustle. But it's still like the side hustle, and they just aren't clear. So, what was it like juggling motherhood, being a corporate professional, being a daughter, being a sister, and the business, and the cherry on top, the commitment to coaching? What
Yeah.
was that like balancing that?
It was challenging, just to be honest with you. It was very challenging, but for me, it was something that I had to do in order to
Mhm.
see my way out,
Yeah.
right? And I had to get the tools in order to make sure
Mhm.
that I'm equipped when the time is right for me to move out. So
Mhm.
those are, it was challenging, just to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
Yeah.
Time is definitely not on anyone's side.
And that's real. I think a lot of people face that, right? It's just like, oh, another thing. I can't take on another thing, but is the other thing serving you
Right,
as opposed to sucking life out of you,
right.
right? So yeah, it may cost you time, but what is the return on the investment? Like
Mhm.
that's a perspective shift that
Right.
I'm hoping someone makes by watching this and hearing you and hearing what we are talking
Mhm.
about right now. So we're winding down. I'm absolutely loving this. So what would you say to someone who they currently have a similar circumstance to you, like they're frustrated, they've been trying to figure out this thing called life and career, um, so done with like the 9 to 5, want to make the leap, but they just don't have the clarity to give them the confidence to be able to do it and feel like they're only at least on one foot, if not both of them, right? What would you say to that person that's thinking about working with me, but they're on the fence?
I would tell them to just do it. Try it. And I promise you, you will not regret it. This has been one of the most amazing um, experiences that I've had as a young professional. I will say, like Danielle stated before, coaching is not something that we hear often, and not, people don't really use life coaches, but actually having a coach has really changed my life. And I would just say, if you're thinking about it, you've thought about it, reach out to Danielle and let her become your coach. You will not regret it.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
No,
So to take us out, what's one word that you'd use to sum up your coaching experience with me?
say it one more time. I'm sorry.
What's one word that you would use to sum up your coaching experience with me?
Amazing.
That's
No, I'm serious.
my word.
I, I would say, I would say amazing. Like it. Okay, should I choose another word?
No, I'm
Danielle?
just saying, like that's a word that I use often. Like, so to hear you
It
give it back
was.
to me, it's like music to my ears. No, that's your word. That's your word. You know why? Because you get to choose. I
Yeah,
love it. I love it. So tell us. So you mentioned in the beginning that you are a life insurance agent.
correct.
Tell us a little bit more about where people can find you, reach out to you if they have life insurance needs.
Right. So I'm a farmers insurance agent in Phoenix City, Alabama, off of Dillingham Street. So it's 507 Dillingham Street in Phoenix City, Alabama. You can also reach out to me via telephone, which is 762-821-5005. And you can also DM me on Facebook or Instagram where my name is Carlita Thomas. Just simple. Carlita Thomas, Thomas.
I love it. And I know I had this question for you early on, but I know you're in Alabama, but who can you serve? Do they have to be in Alabama?
No, you do not have to be in Alabama. I can serve anyone who is in need of needing life insurance.
Okay, okay. Any state. You're not bound
Any
by
state,
by
it is.
geographic
Right.
lines. Okay, awesome. So you know where to find Carlita. if for some reason you missed any of that, you can't find her, send me a message and I will gladly connect you to her. Um, yeah, she's an amazing person to know, and she's not gonna play about you. Just my girl is about her business. Listen, and your business too, your life insurance business
That's
too.
right.
So if you enjoy hearing Carlita's testimonial about her experience and working with me, you may be on the fence about, kind of like I call it doing that double Dutch rock, got one foot in, one foot out, with the 9 to 5. You feel that you have the entrepreneurial spirit about you. You want to change. And maybe it might not be the entrepreneurial spirit, but you need a change in your career. You need something different. Like that what you're experiencing in life right now, like this can't be life, right? This can't be all that it's going to be. You feel in your gut and your soul, the depths of your soul, that there's got to be more to life than what you are actually experiencing. Let me confirm it for you. There is. Because you wouldn't be feeling that discomfort if it wasn't something for you to do. The beauty of it though is you don't have to figure it out by yourself. You can, do, and you may, but we don't know how long that may take you. So what you can do is take a step to collapse time on getting the clarity that you need. And what I want to do is invite you to watch that video that Carlita watched, at quitwithoutregret.com. That's quitwithoutregret.com. And I share my 7 P's to quitting without regret. So that's a great first place to start. And if you want to have a conversation with me, you got to start there. But I tell you exactly how to have that next conversation. I had a book a strategy session with me, in that video. So you got to watch, go there, give me your email address. I'll send it to you, watch it, and then everything else that you need is just waiting for you there. Carlita, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
your talent. Thank you for your spirit and your gift. It was nothing short of a blessing and an honor to be able to serve you and support you, on your journey. I know this is not the end for us, and I cannot wait for all of the praise reports that are to come from the seeds that we planted together and watered on our journey. Yeah, so if you need life insurance, make sure you hit her up, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Thank you.
Welcome.